Today I'm going to introduce you to our lesson objective for the first lesson. This is going to be to use expanded column subtraction to subtract three-digit numbers. We're going to work through some problems together using the frog method and the expanded column, just so you can see which one suits you best and have a real go. Let's use expanded column subtraction to find the answer to 782 take away 467. First, partition the numbers and set them out in columns according to their place value. Remember, hundreds, tens, and units or ones. So 782 becomes 782 and becomes 460. Sorry, my mistake. 7. Don't forget to put the subtraction sign and draw a line underneath. Set them out in those neat columns according to the place value. Start with the ones. 7 is larger than 2, so we take one of the tens and move it to the ones. Then we subtract 7 from 12. When you take one of the tens, 80 becomes 70. You give it to the units column and 2 becomes 12. 12 take away 7 is 5. Well done. Now subtract the tens. You've got 70 take away 60. Have a little think. Have you got the answer? Well done. Excellent job. 10. And 700 take away 400. The answer is? Excellent. 300. Now let's add those three numbers together. 300, 10 and 5. Slide them together and you have 315. Excellent job if you got that. Let's have a go at another one together. Now let's try 425 take away 283. First, set them out in the columns. Partition them out. Excellent job. Ready to have a go at that? 5 take away 3. Brilliant. Now 20 take away 80. If I've got 20, can I take 80? No, because there aren't enough. So what I've got to do is go to the 400 column and take away 100 and give it to the other column. 80 is bigger than 20, so take 100 from the 400 and add it to the tens. 400, remember, cross it out. Remember, it is now only 300, and that becomes 120. 120 take away 80 is 40, and 300 take away 200 is 100. Now recombine those numbers together. 140 and 2, and you get 142. Great job. Now let's have a look at how it would be if it was frog. If you're a little bit stuck on this method and you just want to practice the frog again, let's have another look at how that goes. This time, our problem says 600 take away 347 is what? Again, we've set out our steps below. We've started with the smaller number on the lily pad, 347, and we've written the largest number at the end, 600. Let's see what steps we're going to take. Jump number 1, rounding up to the nearest 10. That will be excellent, 350. From 350, what are we going to jump to next? We don't have to do all the little tens. That's a long way to get to 600. But we could go from 350 all the way up to 400, rounding it up. That's a jump, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So let's take the first step. From 347 to 350 is? Excellent. Give yourselves a pat on the back. You are top bananas. Bendy, bendy in the middle. Or spiky behind the paws. Spiky, spiky on the top. Excellent job. Nice and easy. Step number 1. Step number 2. Have you got it already? Brilliant. It is indeed 50. From 400, where do you think we're going to go next? We're not going all the way up to 600. Although some of you will be able to do that, and that will be a great job, and you can just skip straight to that step. But the 100 in between is 500. So we're going to take a jump of 100, and then a final jump of 100, and we're going to add up together. Remember, We like in our class to start with the biggest numbers first. So 100, 200, 250, 253. Let's just remind you with my pen, colour in yellow, and I'll just make the line a little thinner. Okay, so we go from 100, add another 100, 200, 250, 253, which should give us 253. Let's double check it behind the question mark. There it is. Great work. Okay, what I want us to have a go at now is a slightly harder problem. Okay, we're going to do a 4-digit to 4-digit number. We're going to look at the number 3,000, take away 1,826. Shrink that away. Okay, so as you can see, what I want you to do is, you've got a piece of paper, is have a go at this now. Draw your number line from 1,826 at the beginning, and at the other end put 3,000. Now you can see on this one, it's got 3 little lily pad jumps shown to you. I'd like you to mark those out as it is, and have a go, instead of writing a question mark, at what numbers you think are underneath. First of all, remember to go to the nearest 10. Now have a look at let's have a look and see what you've put. Did you get that number? If not, don't worry. You can see if you can get it now or get a bit closer. Can you think what the next number is? Are we going to count in lots and lots of tens all the way up to 3,000? I don't think so. That would take you a very long time. Let's just do it a little step at a time. Are you ready? And jump. Oh, we've jumped 70 to the next 100. Do you think we're now going to jump in steps of 100, or do you think we're going to jump at thousands? Have a look at the gap between the two. I'll wait 1 second while you just write down what number you think it is. Great, let's have a look and see what you've put. Brilliant. If you've got those 3 numbers, that's really great. If you haven't, just keep following along, and don't forget, you can always go back a step and watch bits of the video from earlier again, or just keep practicing with those hundreds numbers or those tens numbers. First, jump. What do you think it is? From 1,826 to 1,830, we've got 4 to the next 10. Then 70, then 100. And what do you think the final jump is from 2,000 to 3,000? Brilliant, you've got it. It's another 1,000. Now remember what we did before. We're adding up our numbers, starting one at the biggest and working down. So the answer is 1,174. Brilliant if you've done it. Excellent work. That was the more challenging question. Now let's remember, we're looking at how to do it, setting it out in a grid method of taking away from each other in the expanded column method. So let's have a go at some more of those now. Okay, let's have a look at the expanded method. Now we're going to look at 859, take away 472. As you can see, it's been set out as if it was in your maths book on the other side, with hundreds, tens and ones. That's the contracted, the shortened version, but it hasn't been expanded. We're now going to stretch it out on this side here and see how the numbers actually are represented, what they actually represent in each case. Okay, so the 8 in the hundreds column is 800, take away 400, 50 take away 70, 9 take away 2, or 859 take away 472. 9 take away 2 is 7. 50 take away 70. I can't have 70 from 50. I haven't got enough. So I go to the 800, I take 100 away, and that becomes 700, and I give it to the other column. That now becomes 150. 150 take away 70 is 80. And 700 take away 400 is 300. Now let's put these numbers back together, reconstruct it, and your answer is 387. Well done. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Now we're going to have a look at 7,842 take away 3,498. This one's going to stay in the contracted form. This side is going to look at the expanded form. First, let's expand. 7,842 take away 3,498. First, we start in the units column. Can I take 8 away from 2? No. I must go to the 40, have 10, leave that as 30, and move the 10 over here, where you merge them together, and 10 and 2 becomes 12. 12 take away 8 is 4. 30 take away 90. Again, I can't do it. So I move into my 800s, I borrow or have 100 and transfer it across. It merges together and becomes 130. 130 take away 90 is 40. 700 take away 400 is 300. 7,000 take away 3,000 is 4,000. Merge them back together and you get 4,344. Great work, everybody. Okay, now you've worked through some examples with me. Now it's your turn to have a go in your maths books. Either have a go at the practice sheet mild or the practice sheet hot, depending on how you're feeling about it, or work through them all. And if you're a bit stuck, there's some coin workouts to do below, or continue to use the frog method. And if you're finding this fun and you find it easy and you want to have something a bit more, have a go at the mobile subtractions investigation. All you need to do your work is have a look at these questions and then move through your maths books that you should have now. Have fun, and I'll see you for the next video lesson. Bye.